Hey all you weebs, and today I'll be reviewing Yume Miru Kusuri, otherwise known as a drug that makes you dream in some places. I know I promised this review kind of a few months ago, but I've just been lazy, so now I'm getting to doing it. Yay! One of the first things to note is that this is one of my favorite visual novels ever. So generally this review will be really biased, but it's not like all my other reviews aren't biased. Starting off with story, I think it's really solid. It's nothing particularly special, but there's just some sort of charm about it that appeals to me. It focuses on three main themes that I think a lot of people could relate to each of them, those being drugs, bullying, and interpersonal relationships. I can tell you for certain that the parts about interpersonal relationships and bullying are really close to real life, though I can't say anything about the drugs part because I haven't done any myself. Remember kids, winners don't do drugs. Character-wise, we first have Kohei Kagami, the main protagonist. Kohei reminds me of key protagonists a lot, namely Tomoya from Clannad, Yukito from Air, and Yuichi from Canon. Though that's not a bad thing, since I really like those protagonists. I wouldn't say he's the best written or most unique character ever, but he's likable enough and interesting, so I can deal with it. And for once, we have a visual novel protagonist who isn't bad at school. Seriously, is it just me, or does it seem like almost every VN protagonist happens to be bad at school? I understand that's probably because being bad at school is something I think anyone can relate to, but I don't know. I just think that we need more smarter VN protagonists out there. Now for the heroines. The first one we have is Ayaka Shiraki. First off, do not play Ayaka's route first, whatever you do. Personally, I played her route last because I heard that if you play her route first, you don't want to play the other ones. And that's really understandable because the main theme of her route is bullying. And this route was really relatable for me. I don't want to go into any details, but there are a few situations she got into that brought up some pretty bad memories. Ayaka's also my favorite character. She's really offbeat, but really moe at the same time. I don't exactly know how to describe her, but you'll just have to see for yourself. She's also really nice to people, and just reminds me of myself in a lot of ways. That could also be why her route is so relatable. I know it could seem like I'm fangirling here, but I just really loved it, and it's among my favorite routes ever. The next heroine is Mizuki Kiramiya. Kiramiya is the student council president, and on the outset seems flawless. However, she's actually pretty lazy and puts a lot of work onto other people. Kiramiya's main focus of her route is interpersonal relationships, which is something I can relate to, but her route was the weakest, honestly. Now, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's really good, actually, but it was just so boring at times. Well, at least compared to the other routes. Generally, though, Yume Kusuri seems to be one of the best-paced visual novels I've ever read. Thank Ludo, because usually they're so boring and slow-paced. I'm looking at you, Fate Stay Night. I think there needs to be more visual novels that are around 15 hours or so, which is about the length of this VN, because then they have more of a chance to have better pacing and don't pad things out with cooking scenes or long explanations about the plot and what have you. However, Kiramiya's route is saved from all the boring parts just because of her ending. It's so adorable and touching, and I love it. It's actually up there with Air, Harry Potter, and Mother 3 as having one of my favorite endings ever, so congratulations. Katsith Nekako, or is it Katsith? I don't remember, is the third heroine, and if you couldn't already tell by her design, the theme of her route is drugs. Her route was really well done, and honestly was pretty fun as well. Nekako herself is really eccentric and just a whole lot of fun. I don't exactly know how to describe her personality because it's just all over the place, but that's what makes her such a great character, honestly. Crap, I just realized I'm saying honestly a lot in this review. Even though her route started off really upbeat, there were some really serious moments that came later and were well done as well. It reminds me of a typical Q route, namely Kurugai's from Little Busters, because hers started out on a really upbeat note, but got really depressing later. Artwork-wise, besides a few CGs that look kinda off, it's really nice. I can't show you these CGs because of the simple fact that they're either NSFW or spoilerific, but if you played this game, you know which ones I'm talking about. The character sprites are also nice and quite cute as well. I especially like Ayaka's design. I can't tell you what it is, she just looks so pure. I love her. The sound is also quite nice and really calming as well. I don't think there's a single bad song in the entire VN. The voice acting is also great. I don't remember there being a single character who was badly voiced. If I'm correct, every character was actually voiced, which is really cool, actually. Besides the main protagonist, obviously, which sucks because there need to be more VNs where the main protagonist is voiced. Oh god, I sure am autistic. So should you play Yume Miru Kusuri? Yes. Yes. It is a masterpiece and one of my favorite visual novels ever. It's also one of the best visual novels to start out with, mostly due to its short length and fairly good pacing. By the way, sorry this review wasn't as memey as usual. I just wanted to gush about this VN, and I don't really have too many memes about it, unlike, say, Rant games. So yeah, bye weebs.